Valentine's Day for Toy Fair, which is just incredibly awesome to go to Manhattan every year for Valentine's Day.
I don't know if you have a story for this, Marjorie. This is
Oh, yes, I do. That is not my house. It's not my house. Let's get that
That's
out.
our house.
The most frequent place I get to go, other than conventions, is the guy who I refer to as Arnie's dealer. And I don't know how this man knows when Arnie's itching to buy things, but he will all of a sudden call or text, and he's found some new vintage finds or something, and he calls, and we have to go over to his rat hole of a house where he lives with his mother, and somehow this guy finds all these great figures, and we go and visit the dealer quite often. It's interesting. I do want to call orders on him. And we did find out he's also afraid of technology. He won't use the internet, so it's really interesting to go over and talk to him.
Another part of living with a collector is you kind of have to have your, you need some tips on things to expect and how to deal with, living with a collector. So we have our spouse's survival guide. So the first one is you need excellent tracking skills to help locate your spouse. Star Wars.
That one's mine.
Yes, go ahead.
He used to have this really great, actually, custom crew jacket that was bright yellow, where I could pick him up out of a shopping mall at like hundreds of feet. But anyway, Gus is kind of sort of into cereal, so actually one of the fun things about this is that whenever we go to places, like anywhere in the world, we end up in the cereal box aisle. So you go to exotic foreign countries and see all the cool stuff, which we do, and we end up like at 7-Elevens too, looking at see what kind of cereals it is. And it's kind of a cool slice of life type of thing to do, because I don't think people always try to put a value on trying to look at day-to-day life. But one tip I do have from this, are there any people from Spain here today? Yeah, hi guys, I love your country, so don't take offense. Avoid Spanish breakfast cereal. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't do the tracking of the toys. Steve has a great assistant, Ann Newman. He'd be lost without her. But I'm the wallet, keys, eyeglasses tracker, so that doesn't count.
Marjorie, this is your picture.
Yeah, that actually, this is funny because when they released the Clone Wars toys, the line of toys, I guess it's 2008, and we were in Comic-Con for the initial midnight release, and I was not going to pay to ship home an entire line of toys from Comic-Con, because that was just crazy. There's no way I could do that. So the next week, Comic-Con always falls the weekend before my birthday. So on my birthday, that is my birthday, folks. We went out to dinner to a very nice restaurant and ended up buying all the toys from that opening. We made our own midnight release, and we were there around midnight, and Arnie got to recreate it. He was the only one in the toy aisle at midnight. However, he got to load up his shopping carts like he was on supermarket sweep. Yeah, and I think there's another picture that goes with it that shows me.
Oh, I didn't put that one in.
Okay, sorry. He has a great picture of me crying next to the cart. And we didn't have to jam the convertible full with all of these and put the top down to get it in, and then we put the top back up so that we could ride home. Because you can't damage them with the humidity. My birthday's in August. You don't want to damage them with the humidity.
That's one of the nice things about living with a collector is that when you decide that you might want to have your own shopping spree and bring home 10 pairs of shoes, they don't really say anything except, oh, that's nice, honey.
Purses are supposed to cost $500.
Yes, they are. Yes. So use that to your advantage, spouses, that you get to go shopping whenever you want. The other great thing about Star Wars is that it covers so many different areas and aspects that if you do have something that you're interested in, if it's fashion or food or something that, there's usually a Star Wars tie-in. So I'm a chocolate lover, so I always get pretty excited when there's Star Wars chocolate, and he won't keep the food, so we have to eat the food. So that works for me. Okay, the slide's not moving. I need technical assistance.
What Ann was saying about the shopping is so true, and I know it too. So all I have to do if I go buy another Vera Bradley bag, all I have to do is say, honey, there were 2 eBay packages. So that's all I have to say, and he shuts up.
You got to learn to combine shipping. You know, shop at stores that have all of what you want. So you're combining shipping, it's cheaper, it's okay.
The next slide is your convention survival slide. Yeah.
Having been married to a collector and do conventions hardcore, we did a convention survival panel on Thursday. And for you spouses who are kind of being drug here and just kind of going along with the show, there are a few things that really help you out.
It's small, but it's
those are my 2 beverages of choice to get me through the day and to relax after the day. You can decide which one goes where, but those are my 2 favorite drinks. I can find a Starbucks and a bar anywhere.
Yes, I agree. Caffeine is our friend.
Yes. And that's how I ended up collecting the Starbucks mugs, is because I'm tired of getting up at 4 a.m. to get exclusives, and I needed something to keep me going.
You're right about the caffeine, and I'm really getting into Starbucks more and more. When we travel in Europe, what is it with Nescafe? It is so, it's awful. And you know, I'm always looking for a Starbucks. Like this morning, we're staying at the Peabody, and they serve Nescafe, believe it or not. And so I had to go to the Rosen across the street to get Starbucks. Thank God for that.
Now, you got to join the Gold Club too. It's like $25 a year, but you go so much and you get points. I'm getting a free drink like every 6 weeks this summer.
Yeah.
You go so many times, and Arnie knows I love caffeine. He even bought me for Christmas a sterling silver caffeine molecule necklace. So it does have its perks. I get shiny things still too.
Yeah, I broke it, I think. The next slide, Kim, is some of the ones of your kids. Kim is the only panelist that has children, so we wanted her to talk a little bit about how hard it is to explain to the kids that they don't get to open Dad's Star Wars toys.
Very, very, very difficult when they're 18 months old or something. It was like, what are you going to do with this stuff? They're kids, you know. The worst is when you go to McDonald's and, you know, you get Happy Meal toys and Daddy takes the toy that they want and they're crying. And I'm yelling at him, it's a freaking Happy Meal toy, give it to him. So that's been the hardest, but it's funny to see the kids are now 5, 8, and 11, and now we don't have to worry about them. They know, and even my middle son, he's starting to go, well, Daddy, don't bend the package. And Daddy, you got to open it this way. And, oh, I got to have this one. And I'm afraid he's going to turn out just like him. So it is interesting, but it also has its perks as far as my 5-year-old had a Clone Wars party last year, and all we needed was, you know, Jabba the Hutt showed up. You know, so my husband has his Jabba the Hutt costume that comes down, and all the kids start jumping on his tail, and you can hear Jabba going, "Don't jump on my tail! Don't jump on my tail!" So it's hard, you know. The kids want to have fun and do that stuff, and this is my youngest, and Daddy got that bike on clearance for like 20 bucks at Target one day, and we were moving to a new house, so we had to put all the Star Wars stuff in storage, and this was him because he really, really wanted this bike, and Daddy's like, nope, you can't have it, and he was very upset because he didn't know why. So it's fun. It's, you know, I don't know what other pictures. Oh, there's anything else. Oh yeah, this was cute. This was my middle son. When he was in preschool, they take home Brownie Bear, and he was so excited. One of the first things he wanted to do was take Brownie Bear down to show him Daddy's Star Wars collection. So that's fun for the kids, and our friends come over and the kids will be like, this is really cool, you have real arcade games? My kids are like, yeah, you don't? So, you know, to them I guess it's normal. To my 11-year-old daughter, who's shaking her head no, she was like, I'm not going to a Star Wars convention and all that stuff. But she has a Star Wars shirt on, and I think they enjoy it just as much. Sometimes they may not admit it, but it has its perks. It's fun.
I didn't get them in, but you sent some cute photos. I think it must have been like a Halloween party.
Yeah, that was my son's birthday
Was that the
party. It was a
birthday- oh,
Star
that was the
Wars. It's
birthday
right
party.
before Halloween, and they all dressed up. And
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt, which was Daddy, came down.
And the Star Wars store displays got double use because they had them standing around the room.
The decorations.
As decorations. So you can put your collection to multiple uses is one of the things a spouse
And
learns.
when he orders gum from foreign countries and that kind of stuff, they have to help him unwrap the gum, and then they get to eat it, as long as they don't bend or break or rip anything. So,
And kind of along the lines with that, sometimes you do a little creative home decorating, trying to incorporate the Star Wars into the normal house decorations. So, that's a picture Marjorie sent in of Yoda wearing the Santa hat. Pam decorated Darth Maul with the bunny ears. So, one of the interesting things that I have found meeting lots of spouses of collectors is that many of them seem to have collections of their own. And so it's just interesting, and we're going to talk a little bit about whether that was something that happened before they met their spouse, they were already a collector, or if living with a collector just somehow, is contagious and makes you become a collector. So, Marjorie, I think you're first.
Yes, I love Jar Jar. First of all, let's get that off the table. I actually collected before I knew Arnie. I had a very small Star Wars collection, but I didn't keep good track of it. I just bought it because it was fun. I really love the Taco Bell toys from the special edition. And now I'm hooked on Jar Jar, and I also started collecting the Hallmark keepsake ornaments. And besides the Starbucks mugs, I have a big Marvel problem myself. But I love like the Mezzets and the Urban Vinyl and the Mighty Mugs and things like that. And Kubrick's. Kubrick's are the best toys in the whole world. And Kubrick Bubba goes everywhere with me. And he started a huge collection for me. You can't help it. But I'm not crazy. I don't have the rules that, I don't care if my stuff's mint in package. I open it, play with it, I display it. It's totally fine. I don't have to buy a spare in case something happens to one. I'm totally relaxed.
You don't have a rule of 3?
I do not have a rule of 3. My husband has a recently deceased rule of 3 where he would, because you never saw a generic character by himself, like